will do everything possible to ensure talks held under conducive atmosphere, says Meghalaya government after giving safe passage to HNLC leaders to begin unconditional talks. Star singer Zubeen Garg suffers injury following accident at resort in Dibrugarh. Zubeen flown to Guwahati from Dibrugarh hospital for treatment. Condition stable, says doctors. No trace of 19 Assam labourers who went missing from Arunachal's Kurunkume district. State police officials dismissed reports of death of labourers, say search operations on to trace missing individuals. After 3 weeks of intense search and rescue operations called off at a Tupul landslide tragedy site in Manipur, Chief Minister N. Biren Singh holds high-level meet focused on averting future tragedies. COVID cases in Sikkim continue to rise sharply, close to 200 cases detected in last 24 hours. State government releases fresh SOP. And two Sidhu Moosewala murder suspects killed in encounter with Punjab police near Attari border. 3 cops also injured in incidents. Hello and welcome to Evening Prime. I am Pooja and we start the bulletin with a big story from Meghalaya. Home Minister Lakshman Rimbui has welcomed the HNLC's bid to begin peace talks without any precondition. Responding to a query on HNLC interlocutor Southern Bla's statement that outfit leaders will be provided a safe passage by the government to facilitate peace talks. Rimbui said the process had begun months ago and the state government will do everything possible to ensure that the talks take place in the most conducive atmosphere. Rimbui added that the Meghalaya government firmly believes that anything can be achieved if two parties sit across the table for talks. It's a big story at this point in time, viewers, from the state of Meghalaya. Home Minister Lakshman Rimbui has welcomed the HNLC's bid to begin peace talks without any precondition. Responding to a query on HNLC interlocutor Southern Bla's statement that outfit leaders will be provided a safe passage by the government to facilitate peace talks. Rimbui said the process had begun months ago and the state government will do everything possible to ensure that the talks takes place in the most conducive atmosphere. Rimbui added that the Meghalaya government firmly believes that anything can be achieved if two parties sit across the table for talks.
The state government has granted safe passage to leader of the HNLC. Safe passage is there to enable the HNLC to come and have a direct discussion with the authorities.
The government of this is not is a new process. This is the process which going on for quite some time because the government of Meghalaya have the determination that no issue could not be resolved if we put talk on the table. So this process has started. As you know, that the HNLC have agreed to talk with the government unconditionally, and they have nominated Southern Black as the representative, and we from the government have nominated PS Khan, retired IAS, as our representative, and so that the talk could happen and reach its logical conclusion. So we from the state of Meghalaya, it's not the question of safe passage or anything. We will do everything to see that the talk could happen in a conducive atmosphere. Talk could happen in a atmosphere where mutual trust, confidence is there, so that peace in the state of Meghalaya could be able to achieve.
Rimbui, however, refused to give any timeline for the beginning or conclusion of talks.
We didn't set the timeline, but as I said, the convergence of mind is needed to solve any issue. I hope as early as possible.
Actually, top leadership early in city in Johor. Top leadership of the agency early here.
I don't want to reply on that. Whether they are here or they are there or they are anywhere, I don't reply on that. My issue is that the talk should start and it should reach its logical conclusion.
It may be mentioned here that HNLC interlocutor Southern Blah had yesterday informed that leaders of the banned Hindu-Treb National Liberation Council, or HNLC, will be provided safe passage by the government for setting the agenda for the peace talks. The HNLC interlocutor said that since the last 3 months, the Executive Committee of Outfit has held 3 rounds of meetings with the state interlocutor P.S. Dakar, following which this decision was reached at. And shifting focus to a big story from Assam now. Well, renowned Assamese singer and actor Zubeen Garg has been admitted at the Guwahati Ayush Sundra Hospital. As per latest inputs, a team of medical experts are examining the singer's health condition. Earlier, he was flown to Guwahati in an air ambulance. And it may be mentioned here that Zubeen was injured after he fell in the bathroom at a resort and was admitted at the Sanjeevani Hospital in Dibrugarh. It's a big story at this point in time, viewers. A renowned Assamese singer and actor Zubeen Garg has been admitted at the Guwahati Ayush Sundra Hospital. And as per latest inputs, a team of medical experts are examining the singer's health condition. Earlier, he was flown to Guwahati in an air ambulance. It may be mentioned here that Zubeen Garg was injured after he fell in the bathroom at a resort and was admitted at the Sanjeevani Hospital in Dibrugarh.
চিকিৎসকৰ লগত কথা মোৰ বহুত সময় হ'ল কথা পতা। তেওঁ তেতিয়া লাহে লাহে ৰিকভাৰ কৰিছিলে, মোৰ লগত কথাও পাতিছিলে। তেতিয়া মই ভিডিঅ' কল কৰিছিলোঁ, কিন্তু তেতিয়া তেওঁ কনফিউজনত আছিলে অলপ। এতিয়া চাওঁ মই ষ্টেবল আছে, কিন্তু বাকীখিনিতো গোটেই পেৰামিটাৰ্ছখিনি চালে গম পাম। মাতবোল কৰিছে, কিন্তু কনফিউজনত আছে, অলপ কনফিউজড ষ্টেটত আছে। ইমানখিনি প্ৰয়োজন নহ'ব চাগে, এতিয়া সিমানখিনিলৈকে চাগে হোৱা নাই। চাই লওঁ এতিয়া চিকিৎসকে কি কয়, তাৰ পৰাতো তেওঁলোকে পঠিয়াইছে ইয়ালৈ। এতিয়া ইয়াত চাই লওঁ, ইয়াত আৰু বাকীখিনি পৰীক্ষা নিৰীক্ষা হৈ লওক, আপোনালোকক জনাম।
আমি সকলোৱে আশা কৰিছোঁ তেখেত সোনকালে সুস্থ হৈ উঠক। আমি যিমান পাৰোঁ চেষ্টা কৰিম আমাৰ আয়ুষ্মাণ হস্পিটেলৰ তৰফৰ পৰা তেখেত সোনকালে আৰোগ্য হওক। সেইকাৰণে আমি সকলো আমাৰ গোটেই ডক্টৰ চিকিৎসকসকলক আমি ইয়াতে ৰেডি কৰি ৰাখিছোঁ। তেখেতক যি ট্ৰিটমেণ্ট লাগে আমি গোটেইখিনি দিবৰ কাৰণে ৰেডি হৈ আছোঁ।
আমি আয়ুষ্মানৰ তৰফৰ পৰা আমি যিমান পাৰোঁ চেষ্টা কৰিছোঁ যে আমাৰ গোটেই ডক্টৰ টিম সাজু। ইতিমধ্যে আমাৰ ডক্টৰ টিম এজন গৈছে, এটা গৈছে, আৰু আমি গোটেইখিনি সাজু কৰি ৰাখিছোঁ। আমি যিমান পাৰোঁ আমি যথাসম্ভৱ আমি তেওঁক চিকিৎসা কৰি সোনকালে সুস্থ কৰাৰ কাৰণে আমি চেষ্টা কৰিম। তেখেতৰ কাৰণে কাৰ্ডিঅলজি টিম এটা জড়িত হৈ আছে, নিউৰ' চাৰ্জন আছে, নিউৰলজি আছে, যেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ যি ট্ৰিটমেণ্টৰ প্ৰয়োজন আছে গোটেইখিনি ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্টে আমি ৰাখিছোঁ। আমি 24 আৱাৰ্ছ ডক্টৰ থকাৰ ব্যৱস্থা কৰিছোঁ। আমি গোটেইখিনি সুবিধা আমি তেওঁৰ কাৰণে ৰাখিছোঁ। আমি একো কিঞ্চিতো আমি এই নকৰোঁ, আৰু তেওঁৰ কাৰণে যিখিনি পাৰোঁ। ইয়াৰ আগতো জুবিন গাৰ্গদেৱ ইয়াতে থাকি গৈছে, ইয়াতে চিকিৎসা কৰি গৈছে, তেওঁ জানে। সেইটো কাৰণে হয়তো তেওঁ আমাক হয়তো ফেইটত লৈছে, এইটো কাৰণে তেওঁ আমাৰ ইয়াতে আহিব বিচাৰিছে। গতিকে আমি যিমান পাৰোঁ আমি তেওঁৰ কাৰণে আমি কৰি যাম।
On to Manipur now. Less than an hour left. The relentless search and rescue operations at the Tupul landslide site in Manipur's Noni district will wind up officially. And just to tell our viewers that the rescue and search operations has already officially wind up in the Noni district, and it was called off at 6 p.m. And this This decision was taken in a high-level meeting which was convened at the Chief Minister's Secretariat under the chairmanship of N. Biren Singh. And during the deliberations, several key decisions were taken on the basis of demands put forward by Makwam Village Authority.
We have tried whatever we can at the maximum level. The full cooperation were provided from the army, NDRF, SDRF, mainly from the villagers. They are taking their night, working tirelessly. But we could not found these 5 bodies right now. But 3 were expecting could be villagers, but 1 could not be identified. So we sent for the DNA test. I am really very, very shocked and very sad, and I already conveyed my deepest condolence to the bereaved families and the victims. So I am praying to God this such accidents will not be never happen again. And from the government side and the railway side is very cooperative, and we have decided to provide the grievances of the victims. And we are also very thanks to the army personnel. They are also the one who tirelessly working since that midnight till today. And without their help, it would not have been found so much dead body. Once again, I would like to thank those who involved and those people who pray from many religious places. Government has got many, donation for the relief. We appreciate to all of them. For the villagers, there are some customary rules, norms. So they will do it. They are out. But officially, from this evening, it will be closed.
Shifting focus to Meghalaya now, amid the indefinite stir by Sarva Siksha Abhiyan teachers in the state, Education Minister Lakshman Rimbui today urged the teachers to return, failing which the government will be compelled to cut salaries. Rimbui said that the state government is trying to work out things to the best of its abilities despite the limitations. However, if the teachers continue to skip work, it will be compelled to withdraw the grant given to the managing committee for those schools which are closed despite repeated requests put forward to reopen. Over 1,000 SSA teachers are camping at the parking area adjacent to the additional secretariat in Shillong as part of the indefinite strike launched on July 18th. The teachers are demanding the release of 5 months pending salaries along with 8 months pending arrears. It's a big story at this point in time, viewers, from the state of Meghalaya. Amid the indefinite stir by Sarva Siksha Abhiyan teachers in the state, Education Minister Lakshman Rimbui today urged the teachers to return, failing which the government will be compelled to cut salaries. Well, Rimbui said that the state government is trying to work out things to the best of its abilities despite the limitations. However, if the teachers continue to skip work, it will compel to withdraw the grant given to the managing committee for those schools which are closed despite repeated requests put forward to reopen. And just to tell our viewers that over 1,000 SSA teachers are camping at the parking area adjacent to the additional secretariat in Shillong as part of the indefinite strike launched on July 18th. The teachers are demanding the release of 5 months pending salaries along with 8 months pending arrears.
If they don't resume class, we have to take a drastic action against the managing committee concerned. We have no other option in spite of trying so much, and we will continue to try. We will not shy away from responsibility to solve the issue at hand, but there is a limitation to anything. So the limitation is that we have to work together. Didn't have the capacity, the capability to absorb all those teachers into the common team. So, but having said that, we are trying, as I said before, that we are trying to streamline the education department so that to reduce the categories of teachers, and slowly will happen. But this cannot be done in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, because it involves a massive fund. I request the teachers that they should resume class. And if they do resume class, we have no other option. Either we have to issue order of no work, no pay, or we will withdraw the grant to the managing committee for those schools which are closed in spite of repeated requests by the government of Meghalaya.
Well, commoners joined hands with doctors, teaching staffs, and nurses of RIMS Hospital in Manipur today and staged a massive protest in Imphal to condemn the recent bomb attacks at residence of RIMS director, Professor A. Santa Singh. Locals took to the streets at Uripok in Imphal West outside the director's residence, while doctors, teaching staffs and nurses at RIMS Hospital also staged sit-in demonstration. Reportedly, the bomb attack took place late night on Monday at around 9:45 p.m.
ये धरना प्रदर्शन किस कारण किस लिए हो रहा है और आपकी मांग क्या रहेगी?
आज की यह धरना बहुत ज़रूरी है बेतना, क्योंकि हमारे रिम्स के डायरेक्टर हमारे भाई जैसा है डायरेक्टर शांता, उसके घर के सामने बम फेंका गया है। ऐसे हमला दोबारा नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि कुछ भी हो उनके बीच उसका समाधान, उसका हल उन दोनों के बीच आपस में मिलजुल कर उसका समाधान ढूंढना चाहिए। उसके अतिरिक्त वो घर के 20 लोग उसके सामने बम फेंकने से कुछ भी हो सकते थे। इस घटना से घायल भी हो सकते थे, मर भी सकते थे, बच्चे बूढ़े सब आते जाते रहते हैं। हमारे अपील है कि ऐसी घटना दोबारा नहीं होना चाहिए।
Meanwhile, our colleague Sharat Chandra also spoke to the family members of Professor A. Santa Singh. Let's listen in.
You see, all these are the family members of the Professor A. Santa. Could you tell us that when this blast took place and when you came to know regarding this bomb attack?
Actually, I just had the dinner, and when I was taking race, a big sound I heard. Then it was a shaking.
Okay.
Also, it also shook our house. So I thought it was just like an earthquake or something. And then I was very surprised and shocked, and some sound coming out from healing from my kids and my wife, and so I rushed out. Well, I not rushed out up to the spot from the far. When I looked from this side inside, our security was just going here and there. Then when I come out, it may be around after 10 minutes or something. When I come out, reach up to here, it's since that all the water was fallen on that side, and I came to know that.
So from the at the time of the blast, this we can see this is the security forces presence here.
Yeah.
So when blast took place, security still present at home.
Yeah. But the thing is, at that moment we cannot. We have put some CCTV cameras there, but actually we cannot view the exact view. So somehow when we calculate according to CCTV. This security person they came for some needs for around maybe few seconds. At that time, suddenly the blast came out. Now, so they rush out. So I think at the time of blast, it was it's present. Luckily, it fall on the pond water, so that's why they didn't hurt. Otherwise, we maybe casualty may increase. So and then there's just next to there,
no human casualty at all. The fortunate part of this incident is that there's no human casualty. Unknown perpetrators taking advantage of the darkness, because the bomb blast took place at around 9:45. Then they could have hurled this bomb inside the campus residence of this Professor A. Santa family resident. Taking advantage of this darkness, they have just lobbed this IED or hand grenade just inside the campus of this residence, and they fled away from the scene. Otherwise, security was present before the blast also, at the time of the blast also, but they could not respond to this bomb attack due to the darkness, and the perpetrators just fled away from the scene after lobbing the blast. With video journalist Roshan, this is Harachandra reporting for Notice Live from Imphal.
Well, a 22-member media delegation from Bangladesh who are in Guwahati following an invite from the Ministry of External Affairs visited Northeast Live and News Live offices today for an interactive session. During the interactive session, Northeast Live editor-in-chief Wazir Hussain made a presentation on India-Bangladesh relations and people-to-people contact and trade and commerce between the nations. The need for more media exchange programs was also stressed upon during the interaction. The Bangladesh media delegation was led by Ashish Ghosh Saikat, chief news editor of Independent. The journalist from Bangladesh also stressed on the need for more people-to-people contact.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to India in 2017, several notable developments have taken place. One, of course, is the resolution of the long-pending land and maritime boundaries. And when we talk about land boundaries, of course, we are talking about the northeastern region. Fortunate that you could not visit our channel because you were in late, and I am sure you are having a pleasant stay. Please introduce yourself so that we know your organizations. That will be very nice.
Okay, sir.
Please.
Actually, this is Ashish Vikal. I'm the chief news editor of Independent Television. It's a news channel. In Dhaka,
working for a news television that is head of the TV. I am Rimshik. I work from Bangalore newspaper. I am a business editor.
Assam is very close neighbor to us. Assam and Bangladesh is a very good relationship, man-to-man relationship, and we are coming to Assam, Guwahati, not Calcutta. So you understood the relationship is day by day it is increasing. And
well, since this is an interaction between media houses, so in the presentation also the editor-in-chief of Northeast Live said that media interaction is necessary. So can there be a views on this?
yes, it is a good proposal. I think we can start in our part, and if the editor-in-chief said that it will be a very good proposal, and we can carry, and not for one or two times, it will carry for a long time. That is helpful for our media also.
Well, we are very happy that a media delegation from Bangladesh has visited Assam, and we are happy to host them here today, the News Live and Notice Live group. And we had a very interesting discussion how to improve India-Bangladesh relations. And when we talk about India-Bangladesh relations, it is primarily Northeast India-Bangladesh relations, and media can play a big role in improving relations between the two countries, whether it is trade relations, whether it is people-to-people contact, improving people-to-people contact. So we had a frank discussion, and I think we discussed about how media can play a role. It's just about that.
Since you have noted the idea of media interaction, media exchange programs, so how feasible is it?
I think it is very, very doable. Some journalists from Bangladesh can come and work in the media organizations here, familiarization, and similarly, journalists from here can go and work in Dhaka or other places just to get more familiar. That can improve, and this can be actually made a part of the Act's policy, media exchange, and it can play a very big role in changing perceptions and improving people-to-people contact between the two neighbors.
And with that, we take a short break. Stay tuned for more news.
Railway yard where this massive landslide took place. There was a camp of the Territorial Army. There were camps of the railway. The landslide started and it came down all the way, and it went down furthermore many meters down to the None River. The officials of the NDRF, SDRF, and also the local people who are carrying out the search and rescue operations.
The Shillong Pamai, he's the exact person just lead the rescue operation from this side. This is Saroi Pandongba village. This is a river side on the Saroi Pandongba side.
हम और आप कभी नहीं सोच सकते थे कि डिमा हासों में इस तरह का न्यू हाफलोंग रेलवे स्टेशन इतना कुछ हो सकता है, और इसी रेलवे स्टेशन में विस्टाडूम जैसा ट्रेन यहाँ पर स्पेशल टूरिस्ट आने जाने के लिए भी यहाँ पे रिसेंटली चलाया दिया गया था.
You can see the people are trying. The local people are trying to help each other.
a university is much more than just a place to get your education. It not only helps you build your career, but also your personality and mindset. At Assam Royal Global University, you will get the most suitable environment to gain knowledge and also grow as a person. The university has the best infrastructure with all the required facilities and best quality equipment for any kind of educational need.
ৰাধা কি হ'ল মনটো মাৰি আছে যে নকব আৰু ৰাতিপুৱাই এওঁৰ লগত কাজিয়া লাগিছো কিয় ঘৰখন ভালকৈ ঠান ঠিক লগাই নাই এতিয়া বাৰু সন্তানৰ কথা ভাবে নেকি অন্তত 2 বছৰমান ৰৈ ল বুলি কৈছো খুব ভাল চিন্তা কৰিছা বিয়াৰ অতি কমেও 2 বছৰ পিছতহে সন্তানৰ কথা চিন্তা কৰিব লাগে কিন্তু নামানে নহয় তেওঁক লৈ আমাৰ স্বাস্থ্য কেন্দ্ৰলৈ যাবা বাইদেউৰ কথাবোৰ ভালদৰে বুজাই দিব বিবাহৰ পাছত পৰিয়াল পৰিকল্পনা কৰাটো অতি জৰুৰী পৰিয়াল পৰিকল্পনাই মাতৃ স্বাস্থ্যৰ লগতে শিশু এটিৰ সঠিক বিকাশতো সহায় কৰে ইয়াৰ বাবে আপোনালোকে জন্ম নিৰোধক বড়ি যেনে মালায়েন ছায়া অথবা ইমাৰ্জেন্সি বড়ি বা কণ্ডম ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিব পাৰে ইয়াৰ আন কিবা উপায় নাইনে মানে সদায় ব্যৱহাৰ নকৰিলেও হোৱাকৈ আছে অন্তৰাৰ 4টা ড'জৰ ইনজেকচন প্ৰতি 3 মাহৰ মূৰে মূৰে ল'ব পাৰে তাৰোপৰি আইইউচিডিৰ ব্যৱস্থাও আছে যদিহে 5 বছৰ বা 10 বছৰৰ ব্যৱধান বিচাৰে আজিকালি এটা সন্তানেই যথেষ্ট তথাপিও যদি আপোনালোকে দ্বিতীয় সন্তানৰ কথা চিন্তা কৰে তেনেহলে প্ৰথমটি আৰু দ্বিতীয় সন্তানটোৰ মাজত ক্ৰমে 3 বছৰৰ ব্যৱধান ৰাখিবই লাগিব ইয়াৰ বাবে পিপিআইইউচিডিৰ ব্যৱস্থাও আছে আৰু গৰ্ভপাতৰ পাছত পিএআইইউচিডিও দিব পাৰি আৰু ইয়াৰ বাবে চৰকাৰে সৰ্বাধিক 300 টকাকৈ মাননিও দিছে আৰু পৰিয়াল সম্পূৰ্ণ হোৱাৰ পাছত স্থায়ী জন্ম নিয়ন্ত্ৰণৰ ব্যৱস্থাও আছে এই ক্ষেত্ৰত পুৰুষ বন্ধ্যাকৰণৰ বাবে 3000 টকাকৈ আৰু মহিলা বন্ধ্যাকৰণৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত এলএছ মিনিলেপৰ বাবে 2000 টকা আৰু পিপিএছৰ বাবে 3000 টকাৰ মাননি প্ৰদান কৰা হয় অধিক জানিবৰ বাবে ওচৰৰ স্বাস্থ্য কেন্দ্ৰলৈ আহক আৰু পৰিয়াল পৰিকল্পনাৰ পদ্ধতিসমূহ গ্ৰহণ কৰক মনত ৰাখিব হিতাধিকাৰী আৰু প্ৰেৰণাদাতা উভয় লাভ কৰিব অতিৰিক্ত অনুপ্ৰেৰণামূলক মাননি অধিক জানিবৰ বাবে 104 নম্বৰত যোগাযোগ কৰক
The tuple.
Welcome back and on to the big story from Arunachal Pradesh. There is still no trace of the 19 laborers from Assam who went missing from state's Kurumkume district. Meanwhile, IGP Chuku Appa has rubbished reports stating that bodies of some of the workers among the 19 who went missing from Kurumkume have been found floating in a river. Talking exclusively to Northeast Live, Chuku Appa said that massive search operations by the police, SDRF, locals are still underway in search of the missing persons. However, there is no breakthrough yet. The official also said that locals from Parsi Parlo Circle, which is 38 kilometers from Koloriang, saw some outsiders taking public transport from the area, thus indicating that some of the laborers may be back in Assam. Now let's listen into the full conversation.
सबसे पहले तो मैं इस न्यूज़ को खंडन करता हूँ आई डिनाई द न्यूज़ दैट्स एब्सोल्युटली फॉल्स कुरुंकुमे नदी में कोई डेड बॉडी फ्लोटिंग नहीं कर रहा है और द स्टोरी इज 6 जून को अराउंड 20 लेबरर्स असम के वेरियस प्लेसेस से लाए गए थे हुरी में दैट इज फॉर आई थिंक रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड ऑल जो लाए थे दैट वाज एक रोहम अली नाम का एक आदमी है he has taken the money and then आदमी को उधर डंप करके on 19 he left the place without giving them any ration or money और वो कोई बहाना बना करके उधर से चले आए अभी तक का जो हमारा इन्वेस्टिगेशन से इंक्वायरी से ये पता चला on 5th रात 11:30 को out of 20 laborers 19 of them अपना मर्जी से उधर से भाग गए और रात में कहाँ गए कहाँ मतलब किस तरफ को गए किसी को पता नहीं और चूंकि ये नए लोग थे मतलब जब जैसे ही हम लोग को 12-13 तारीख को पता चला we started a massive manhunt हम हंटर्स को लगाया, लोकल जो उधर का जो लोकल एरिया से जो वाकिफ है लोकल आदमी को लगाया, अपने पुलिस टीम गए हैं, अभी SDRF स्टेट डिजास्टर रिस्पॉन्स फोर्स को भी हम रवाना कर दिया है। सो सर्च इज ऑन, अभी तक हमें कुछ और एक इंफॉर्मेशन मैंने सोशल मीडिया में भी देखा है, एक डेड बॉडी मिला वगैरह वगैरह। So we have verified that also there was no dead body, and the person who has started this news, उसको भी हमने आज पुलिस स्टेशन कोलोरियम में सम्मान करा, तो वो आते हैं, हम उसको फिर पूछताछ करेंगे। And that news itself is also false, इसको कोई आधार नहीं, कोई तथ्य नहीं।
Meanwhile, the Kurunkume administration has requested for the assistance of the NDRF and the Indian Air Force in an effort to locate and rescue the missing 19 workers. Kurunkume DC Nige Bengia said that the administration has now decided to take the assistance of the NDRF and also roll in Indian Air Force choppers to locate the missing persons. Further, the DC also informed that the main contractor, Bengia Bado, has also been detained by the police and he is currently being interrogated. It may be mentioned here that 19 workers from Assam are missing for the past 15 days from a remote road construction site in Arunachal Pradesh after their contractor did not pay them their dues for more than a month since they began working. Notably, the laborers were engaged by the BRO in road construction in Huri under Daman Circle. The workers who were brought to the construction site at Huri village in Kurunkume by two subcontractors, namely Ruham Ali and Abdul Kudus, on June 6th, left the camp on the night of July 5th. Rail communication between Lumding and Silchar is likely to resume by July 23rd. This indeed will be a key development, consider the fact that the rail link is crucial for commuters from Tripura, Mizoram, Manipur, as well as the entire Barak Valley. It may be mentioned here that the rail link was adversely affected owing to landslides. However, the railway authorities took the matter seriously and hopefully will restore the rail link by July 23rd. Our colleague Swadeep Hasamsa was on ground zero to give us a detailed report. Take a look.
पिछले मई महीने का 14 तारीख से डिमा हासाओं में भूस्खलन के कारण बहुत सारा जगह में रोड कम्युनिकेशन के साथ साथ रेलवे कनेक्टिविटी भी पूरी तरह से बंद हो गया था, और फिर से रिस्टोर होते होते लगभग 2 हफ्ते पहले यहाँ का न्यू हाफलोंग से लेकर सिलचर तक ट्रेन जो है चला दिया गया है। लेकिन कल यानी कि कल 21 तारीख के बाद 22 तारीख से न्यू हाफलोंग नहीं, गुवाहाटी तक सिलचर गुवाहाटी का ट्रेन का भी चलने का बात है। और इस ये ट्रेन चलने से डिमा हासाओ का ही नहीं, नेबरिंग स्टेट मिजोरम, त्रिपुरा और मणिपुर गुवाहाटी के साथ जो कनेक्टिविटी करते हैं वो उन लोगों के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा सुविधा हो सकता है। तो थोड़ी देर पहले हमने देखा कि यहाँ पर सिलचर से आने वाला न्यू हाफलोंग यानी कि माहौर तक जाने वाला ट्रेन यहाँ पर आया था, बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ पे आया है। ये ट्रेन खुल जाने से क्या क्या फायदा हो सकता है?
ये ट्रेन खुल जाने से एक्चुअली बहुत पब्लिक का सुविधा होगा, क्योंकि ना अभी जो हम लोग बस से जाते हैं वो दिक्कत। अभी मैं सुबह में गया था ऑफिस का गाड़ी से, रास्ता खराब है, गाड़ी खराब हो गया। मैं डिटक्सोरा से ये सिलचर का जो ट्रेन हाफलोंग माहौर तक गया है, इसमें हम आया, ओनली 30 रुपीज भाड़ा है। तो ये ट्रेन होने से रेलवे को हम बहुत थैंक यू देने मांगूंगा, क्योंकि बहुत जल्दी ये रेल लाइन वो लोग बना के क्लियर कर लिया है। तो वो काल परसों से जो आपका गुवाहाटी से सिलचर तक चलेगा, वो पब्लिक का बहुत सुविधा होगा, क्योंकि गुवाहाटी से बहुत कमती भाड़ा से सेफ्टी से हम लोग हाफलोंग आने सकता है।
जी बिल्कुल, वही बात बोलना पड़ेगा। ये रेलवे ट्रेन में काफी जल्दी ही इसको रिस्टोर कर दिया गया है। और एक बार बता देता हूँ कि डिमा हासाओं में मोर देन 60 लोकेशन में यहाँ पर जो रेलवे का जो लाइन जो है खराब हो गया था उसकी वजह से, और उनमें से मेजर 11 लोकेशन में था। और वो उन सारी जो लोकेशन को अगर हम बात करें तो थोड़ी थोड़ी जो मेजर था वो सब रिस्टोर हो गया था। लेकिन डाउटू हाजा फाइटिंग का बीच में जो माइबांग और बिटवीन फाइटिंग का बीच में जो एक बहुत बड़ा डिस्टर्ब हो गया था, बहुत बड़ा जो सिंकिंग हो गया था, उसकी वजह से काफी दिन लग गया था। और इसी के साथ कैमरा पर्सन हेमोवेंद्र के साथ मैं स्वदेव हसमसा, नॉर्थ ईस्ट लाइव, हाफलोंग।
And on to the COVID updates from Sikkim. Well, Sikkim has recorded a massive spike in daily COVID-19 cases. A total of 198 new cases have been detected in the state in the last 24 hours, while one COVID-related death was also reported. Meanwhile, the active cases in the Himalayan states have now risen to 860. With the sudden rise of COVID cases in Sikkim, the state government has issued a new SOP in order to curb the spread of the virus. In the new circular, all heads of educational institutions, tutorials, coaching institutes, and hostels are instructed to monitor the health status of their students regularly. The SOP also directs the chief education officers to take call on suspension of classes if a sudden rise in COVID cases is observed in any particular school. The SOP further directs all institutions to observe all COVID-19 protocol and the standard operating procedure and guidelines issued by the Ministry of Health and Education. Meanwhile, Tripura Chief Minister Manik Saha has tested positive for COVID-19. Chief Minister Saha confirmed the development on Twitter. Saha stated that he is absolutely fine with no symptoms and requested those who have come in contact with him to get tested. The mortal remains of 3 IR battalion Jawans from Sikkim reached their home state this afternoon. The 3 Jawans were killed during a shooting at Haidarpur plant in New Delhi by a fellow Jawan. Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang paid his tribute to the deceased IRB Jawans at the Rangpo police station. Besides Sikkim cabinet ministers, MLAs, DGP A. Sudhakar Rao, and several other dignitaries were present in the ceremony. Meanwhile, we have reactions from Sikkim DGP A. Sudhakar Rao. Let's listen in.
इसमें सबसे पहले हम लोग बहुत दुख व्यक्त करते हैं ऐसा घटना के ऊपर। हम लोग सिक्किम पुलिस के सारा परिवार, पुलिस का परिवार हमारा अपना कोई एक आदमी खोया जैसा लग रहा है। हम तीनों लोगों को, हमारे भाई लोग हैं। पुलिस की डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से हम लोग पुलिस वेलफेयर फंड से 4-4 लाख कैश सबको दिया है एक्सग्रेशिया की तरफ से। सीएम साहब की तरफ से 5 लाख का उन्होंने गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से एक्सग्रेशिया दिया है। एंड फैमिली मेंबर्स जो एलिजिबल होंगे उनके लिए कंपैशन अपॉइंटमेंट लिए हम लोग प्रोसेस करेंगे। हाँ, उनको फैमिली मेंबर कोई योग्यता है उन लोगों को, और उन लोगों को पक्का हम लोग कंपैशन अपॉइंटमेंट करेंगे।
सर, जो आरोपी है उस पर क्या कार्रवाई हो रहा है और क्या होगा?
आरोपी के ऊपर दिल्ली पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहे हैं। उनका जो भी निर्णय करेंगे उसके ऊपर हम लोग फॉलो करेंगे।
उनका वो तो सिक्किम गवर्नमेंट के अंधेर में वो सर्विस पे है, उनका सर्विस अभी टर्मिनेट हो चुका है क्या?
ना, अभी तक नहीं हुआ है, क्योंकि अभी दिल्ली पुलिस रिपोर्ट आना बाकी है। रिपोर्ट आने के बाद हम लोग उचित कार्रवाई करेंगे। एक कोर्ट ऑफ इंक्वायरी ऑलरेडी ऑर्डर कर दिया हम लोगों ने। डीआईजी आर्म पुलिस को इंक्वायरी करेंगे एंड बाकी जो भी फैक्ट्स है वो सब इंक्वायरी करेंगे।
It may be mentioned that Lance Nayak Prabeen Rai has shot dead 3 of his colleagues, Lance Nayak Pinso Namgyal Thotia, Constable Indralal Chetri, and Constable Dhan Hang Suba in Delhi on July 18th. Shifting focus now, Assam Water Resource Minister Piyush Hazarika has instructed Kachar DC to take stern action against those involved in damaging the Bethukandi dike that led to flooding in the entire Silchar dam. The minister also took stock of the progress of the ongoing works to reconstruct the dike. Besides, Piyush Hazarika also issued clear instruction to complete the construction work by August 6th. It may be mentioned that Piyush Hazarika is on a 3-day visit to the Barak Valley to review the steps taken to mitigate the situation arising out of the devastating floods. Talking to our Silchar correspondent Vikram Sarkar, the Assam Water Resource Minister assured that those found guilty in damaging the Bethu Kandi dike will not be spared at any cost.
Piyush Hazarika is in his 3-day visit in Barak Valley. So, sir, we have seen you have started your visit from today. You will be there till Friday. You started with the Katigora constituency and you came here in this dike. What you found?
I want to visit each and every bridge area of Barak Valley and bridge area and bridge-like situation area. In Katigora, I have visited in sluice gate areas in Bharat-Bangladesh border. That sluice gates built by BOI, I think. But that has to be taken over by Water Resource Department or PWD Department, Government of Assam. We have to repair that. We'll do that, and accordingly, we'll do the process to take over all that sluice gates to the Government of Assam. Now I have visited this Betukandi bridge area. It is filling up temporarily. I will go other bridges areas also. We have already filled up almost all bridge areas. I think this is the first time in the history of Assam during the flood season. Means immediately after bridge, we have filled up almost all bridge areas of the state. It is a direction from the Honorable Chief Minister. So I am doing it. We are doing it.
Sir, do you think like the sluice gate is also required in this part?
Yes, definitely. Sluice gate is required within 4-5 kilometers. Between 4-5 kilometers, we need sluice gates. So for that, we are studying. We have formed 3-4 groups of engineers to study all these things. In existing embankment, we are going to build sluice gates so that water can be passed and water can be logged, so that pressure in the embankment could be diminished.
Sir, during this flood, the most highlighted part was the Bethukande, but there are much more than that, which is in a critical condition.
I am going to see in Katigora. I have seen one another place. I have visited in one another place. There is a bridge-like situation. There is not bridge. I've been to that area, so I will go in that kind of areas also.
Last question to you. What about the action? Because CM has already mentioned about to take the strongest action against those who have destroyed the government property.
Stern, strict action will be taken. Those who have attract government properties, those who have lost government properties. We don't compromise. We won't compromise with that culprit.
And on to the big national story now. Well, 2 suspects in the killing of Sidhu Moosewala were gunned down after a heavy exchange of fire with Punjab police near Amritsar today. The killed gangsters were identified as Jagrup Singh Rupa and Manpreet Singh. From whom an AK-47 and pistol were recovered after the encounter. In the encounter that broke out this afternoon, 3 police officials and a journalist also sustained injuries. The forensic team reached the spot for further investigation.
ਸੁਖਦੀਪ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਰਡਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ 29 ਤਾਰੀਖ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੀ ਪਲਾਨਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮਾਸਟਰਮਾਈਂਡ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਰੋਲ ਪਲੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੁਲੇਰੋ ਮੋਡਿਊਲ ਕੇ 2 ਸ਼ੂਟਰ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਐਬਸਕੌਂਡਿੰਗ ਸੀਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੀਕ੍ਰੀਟ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੀਗੀ तो एंटी गैंगस्टर टास्क फोर्स लोकल पुलिस लोकल ऑफिसर्स इन टोटल कोऑर्डिनेशन आज इन्हें घेरा पाया गया ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ जो तो सारे पता ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਵਰੇਜ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ 4-5 ਘੰਟੇ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਫੀ एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर हुआ कितने लोग थे टोटल कितने थे 2 बंदे एक मनु दूसरा रूपा दोनों में इनकाउंटर कर दिया गया उनका दोनों की इस एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर में मौत हुई है जी और ਹੁਣ बाकी सारे फोरेंसिक्स किए जाएंगे ਜਿਹੜੇ 2 ਮੇਨ ਸ਼ੂਟਰਸ ਵਾਂਟਡ ਸੀਗੇ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲਾ ਜੀ ਕੇ ਮਰਡਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਦੇ ਚ ਇੱਕ ਮਨੂ ਦੂਜਾ ਰੂਪਾ इन इनका एनकाउंटर एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर में उन दोनों की डेथ हुई।
In a first of its kind, Meghalaya DGP L.R. Bishnoi was seen marching through the streets of Shillong. But what was the purpose behind this? Briefing news persons, the Meghalaya top cop revealed that the police is on a mission mode to eradicate the drug menace in Shillong as well as the other parts of the state. DGP Bishnoi stated that task force has been created to tackle the menace. Besides, the Meghalaya DGP informed that the police has seen cooperation of the public as well as the Dorbar Shnongs and CSOs to help in fighting the war against drugs.
Your name? Okay. So where is your house?
Yeah.
Here only. Yes. And the shop is for who? The shop belongs to you. Yes. You are the owner. The price. Hey, what is your name?
My name is Ibrahim.
Okay. You are studying somewhere?
Yeah.
Which school?
Saint
Francis. Saint Francis. You are learning how to run the shop also.
I have the Rambadong. Take care of. We have 4 blocks divided, and you have those heads of the 4 blocks.
Okay.
Who will help me in this management.
So the Rongbadong help you.
Help us.
Now at present we have district-wise ANTF, anti-narcotic task force, one task force in every district. It was constituted long back because almost all the districts have this problem. But if you can give us feedback that particularly locality of Shillong is more infested with the drug abuse, then we can think of constituting a separate ANTF team for that area. We can go ahead, and we are now concentrating on capacity building of our own police personnel also. We are organizing lot many training refresher courses so that our officers, they can understand the nitty-gritties of NDPS Act and how to go about it. But again, we have come here not only to familiarize with the area, but also seek the cooperation of the people. If they come forward and help us, then jointly, unitedly, we can overcome this problem. Every week, we will plan to visit the different localities and interact with all the Darbar Shnong headmen and members and seek their cooperations, and also familiarize ourselves with the localities. I will interact with the youth, particularly those youth who are doing well in study and sports, so that they can join us in our endeavors and they can motivate others.
And on that note, I will leave you with some news from across the nation in our News Express. Keep watching Northeast Live. Heavy rains lashed the national capital in the afternoon today, leaving low-lying areas waterlogged, thereby affecting traffic movement in parts of the city. Consequently, the traffic police issued an advisory asking people to check the weather before heading out. Notably, the Daily Bulletin of India Meteorological Department informed that cloudy sky, moderate rain or thunder showers are predicted in the city over the next 3 days. Moreover, the Weather Department has issued a yellow alert in the capital city with a warning of moderate to heavy rainfall. Meanwhile, the intensity of rainfall is set to increase from Wednesday onwards, and the weather could also bring the maximum temperature down to around 32 degrees Celsius by Thursday. On the third day of the monsoon session, members of opposition parties in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha held a joint protest against inflation and GST rates like near the Gandhi statue in Parliament today. The opposition leaders accused the government of disrupting the common man's budget due to revised GST rates. During the protest, the leaders of opposition parties, including the Congress, NCP, DMK and Left, raised slogans against the government, demanding a rollback of the hike in GST rates on commodities like curd, bread and paneer. Notably, Congress leaders Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and others were present during the protest in front of Mahatma Gandhi's statue on Parliament premises. It may be mentioned here that Congress and other parties have been seeking a discussion in Parliament on the issue of inflation and GST rates. In a bizarre incident, a female sub-inspector Sandhya Topno was crushed to death by a suspected cattle smuggler at a checkpost near Tapudana's police station early today. Reportedly, the incident took place in the wee hours when the police sub-inspector was on the checkpost to conduct vehicle checking after the police received a tip-off about the illegal cattle transport from Gumla area towards Tupudana. Injured Topno was rushed to the hospital where she succumbed to her injuries. Meanwhile, the accused who managed to flee from the spot after killing the cop was later arrested by the police with the help of CCTV footage, and the vehicle was also seized. On the other hand, the incident took a political turn with BJP accusing the state government of patronizing illegal cattle traders. Meanwhile, BJP State President Deepak Prakash accused the Hemant Soren government of going soft against the smugglers, as a result of which the criminals have become daring to attack even law enforcers. As many as 7 people died early today in Kusuru area of Howrah district of West Bengal after allegedly drinking spurious liquor at an illicit hooch joint. In addition, 6 more people have been admitted to a nearby hospital and several of them are in critical condition. In this regard, Howrah Police Commissioner Praveen Kumar Tripathi stated that the exact cause of death will be ascertained only after post-mortem. Meanwhile, the police have launched a probe into the matter to ascertain the exact cause of the incident. In a tragic incident, more than a half of a dozen laborers have been injured after the collapse of an under-construction bridge near Narkota area, which is 6 kilometers from Rudraprayag on Rishikesh-Badrinath highway. Notably, the State Disaster Response Force officials today informed that as many as 6 people have been evacuated and taken to the district hospital. The officials added that 4 to 5 people are feared to be trapped. Meanwhile, SDRF and police are presently on the spot to help reduce the damages and ascertain the cause of the incident. Moreover, the rescue operations are underway. The National Testing Agency today constituted a 3-member fact-finding committee to probe the alleged incident in Kollam, where a student was allegedly harassed before appearing for the National Eligibility Entrance Test in Kerala. Notably, the committee will submit its report in 4 weeks. The members of the fact-finding committee are Senior Director of NTA, Dr. Sadhana Parashar, Principal of Saraswati Vidyalaya, Arapura, Batirkurvi in Kerala, Shalja OR and Pragati Academy in Kerala, Shuchitra Shinjit. The committee will visit the spot and verify the facts of the matter after talking to all concerned persons. Meanwhile, BJP workers held a protest outside the examination center where women candidates were reportedly asked to remove their innerwear before entering the examination hall on July 18th. The investigation wing of Delhi Income Tax Department conducted searches at around 40 premises today. Reportedly, the premises of key promoters and officials of key company based in Uttar Pradesh were also raided, which started today early morning. In another case, the Income Tax Department conducted raids at Chirpal Group's premises today. According to sources, the group is engaged in the business of textiles, education, among others. The raids were conducted at the head office on Bhopal Road. As per sources, Ved Prakash Chiripal, Brij Mohan Chiripal, Jyoti Prakash Chiripal, Vishal Chiripal, Ronak Chiripal and other partners were also raided. Meanwhile, searches were conducted at a total of 35 to 40 places in Ahmedabad. Nandan Denim and Vishal Denim, which fall under the Chiripal label, were also raided. Around 150 officers joined the raid operation. Further investigations are underway. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the India's Commonwealth 2022 contingent today during a virtual interaction. Notably, Prime Minister Modi said that India's Birmingham-bound CWG 2022 contingent is a unique mix of experience and youthful zest, and all the athletes are brand ambassadors of the new India on a global level. During his meeting, he interacted with numerous athletes via video conferencing, heard their experiences in sports and life, and wished them luck for the mega sporting event. Moreover, the Prime Minister interacted also with the hockey player from Jharkhand, Salima Tebe, who shared her struggles as a kid to play hockey and reminiscent about the days when she used to accompany her father on a cycle to watch him play the sport. It may be mentioned that the Commonwealth Games will be taking place from July 28th to August 8th in Birmingham. The National Investigation Agency early today launched a search operation at the special camp for Sri Lankan Tamil refugees at Tiruchirappalli to probe around 20 refugees residing there. Notably, the search was led by the NIA officers from Kochi and is in connection with the seizure of 300 kg of heroin, 5 AK-47 rifles, and 1,000 live rounds of 9mm ammunition off the coast of Vizhinjam near Thiruvananthapuram in March 2021. Earlier, Suresh Rajan, a Sri Lankan national, was arrested in connection with the case from Kerala for his alleged links with the Pakistan-based drug runner Haji Salim, who often shuttled between Dubai, Pakistan, and Iran. It may be mentioned that the NIA probe had also unearthed financial transactions worth crores of rupees in Rajan's name. Renowned former Olympic track and field athlete P.T. Usha today took oath or affirmation of allegiance to the Constitution as Rajya Sabha MP. Notably, Usha, along with renowned composers Ilaya Raja, screenwriter V. Vijayendra Prasad, and spiritual leader Virendra Hegde, were nominated to the upper house of parliament by the government in what was seen as a part of ruling Bharatiya Janata Party's outreach to southern India. P.T. Usha was recently nominated to the Rajya Sabha by the central government. It may be mentioned here that a day ago she met BJP President J.P. Nadda, who extended his congratulations to her for being nominated as Upper House MP and wished her the very best. The custom officials seized more than 1 kg of cocaine worth Rs 15 crore from a Zimbabwean female national at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in the national capital today. According to the information, the Zimbabwean national arrived at the Indira Gandhi International Airport by flight number ET688 from Addis Ababa and had concealed the narcotic in the soles of her sandals. She has been arrested under Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. Earlier on July 13, the Customs Department at the IGI airport had arrested an Indian couple who arrived from Vietnam and seized 45 guns worth more than ₹22 lakh from their bags.
जाएंगे हम वहां जहां की हर खबर छुप जाती है और दिखाएंगे वो जो रहता है आपकी नजरों से उझल।